Hey guys, it's Heidi again, and I'm going to show you the power of creating quizzes using Google Forms. You're going to come over here and click where it says New. Then you'll have to come over and click More. Then you want to click and make sure you give it a title. I'm adding and subtracting within 20 for this one. Click here, automatically saves, I'm ready to go. Then I'm going to click over here to settings. I'm going to hit this as a quiz because I'm going to make this as a quiz. Now, if you click turn on the lock mode, that means it locks your students' devices and they can't log out. So this is a great tool that you're able to use. You could release the grades right away, or after. Releasing right away is helpful. They can see missed questions, point values, etc. And then when you're ready, you'll hit save once you like how it's set up, and then you hit save. So now we're back to this screen. So you want to make sure that you add your directions right here if needed. And if you don't want it to collect email addresses like it's doing right now, you could also change that setting and come right here and do not collect email addresses. That's up to you. If you want to collect email addresses, you can. That way you'll know who is actually really completing the tasks. You could restrict it just to people within your school district domain. And you could also limit it to one response as well. You click save, and this comes up. I always write first name here, then hit required. I'm going to hit the plus sign over here and add last name, and then required. So this is the next part that you could do. If you want to, you could always add another title section if needed. If you wanted to, you could get fancy and add a section break. It's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and add a question here. And I'm going to go ahead and use the check boxes for this question. And I'm going to put in my options here. And I'm going to hit required. So I have 4 different choices for them. I'm going to click here and hit answer key. And this is where I'm going to click on the answers that are correct. And then I will click done. If I want to give it point value, maybe this is worth 1 point. Maybe it's worth 2 points. Maybe it's worth 3 points. You get to decide. And I'm going to go ahead, and click done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add another question. Jose had 3 apples and his mom brought him some more apples, and now he has 15 apples. How many apples did his mom bring him? So this one I'm going to make multiple choice. Let me go ahead and add the apple pie right here. I'm going to hit required. I'm going to hit answer key. I'm going to pick the correct answer now. And then I will add the point value as 1. And click done. Now, if you want, you could always ask them open-ended questions here. And you get a short answer. Here, hit the answer key. And you could give it the correct answer, or you could add answer feedback. And for these ones, I would add answer feedback because they're not going to give you exactly what you type. So when you are adding two or more numbers together, that's an example for them that I want them to see, and I'll hit save. I'm not going to give any points because I want to look at their open-ended responses. I'm going to hit done. Maybe for fun, you want to add an image. And let's go ahead and do 20 apples. See if there's an image that pops up. Ooh, you could have an estimation question here. Here's a great one. So have them create a word problem using these different types of fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and tell them to create a subtraction problem using the picture above. And I'm going to click this one to be a paragraph. I could add in more. Make sure that you solve it and explain your answer. And maybe I don't want this one to be acquired, so I'm going to leave that open. So I think I am done for this task, so we're ready to go ahead and assign it. Okay, so the first thing, before you come here and click, I always recommend before you assign it that you take a look at it to make sure you like it. So you want to click on these three dots right here, and you want to click preview. And then you could double check to make sure you're ready to rock and roll. And now I can see what my students see, and I'm just going to hit test. And I'm just going to pick some answers. And I'm going to hit submit. So now you can say, and now since I allowed previously to allow my students to see their score, I could hit view. So this is the cool thing because they get that instant feedback. So right now it's saying 0 out of 4 because I didn't get them all right. And do you see how they had to click all three of those? So the nice thing is, now when I go back to my teacher view, I can see I have a response. The more students I get, the more data I'm able to review and see. And it will help me tell me my frequent questions, what's going on. I could look at the different questions to see what's going on. It will tell me I have one ungraded response because that one I wanted to grade. And then I could look at individuals, which is awesome. So this one, I could go back and I could give this child 2 points. 1, 2, because they got 2 of it correct. This one they didn't get. And this one, maybe I'm going to accept this answer, so I'm going to give it a point here. And I hit save. And then when I take a look, I also have this great spreadsheet. I'm going to hit create, and it will help me review my data as well. This is another alternative. While that's loading, I'm going to come back here so you guys can see what it looks like. Previously on this screen, it was showing that I got 0 out of 4, but now it's updated, which is nice. So then when I look at the questions, this information has updated as well. So now if I want to look at the spreadsheet, which comes really helpful if you are into Sheets or Excel. Sheets and Excel are very similar. You could take a look and you could see their answers. Now, what is cool that you could do is you could always start having your answers kind of come together You could color code it so then you could figure out what you need for small groups. And how you could color code it is you have to do that fill the bucket, and you could pick different colors depending on your groups and how you code in class, and then you could kind of get that visual picture that you need. What you also are able to do is see right here, accepting responses. This is done. I'm over accepting responses for this task. I've turned it off, so now my students cannot finish it. And if you need to email it, you could email people this way. You could add people to collaborate on here, or you just copy this link and throw it into Google Classroom. Have fun using Google Form quizzes.